and welcome to Master Manual, a practical guide for DMs, GMs, and just wanna BMs and other folks too. This is a podcast where we answer questions and talk about role-playing games such as D&D 5e, but mostly from a DM perspective. I'm Spencer Crittenden, coming at you live with my buddy.
Hey, I'm Cohen Edenfield. I'm not live. I've been pre-recorded, and I've sent Spencer a script.
Right, and Cohen, how are you doing?
Oh, it was great.
That's great. Me too. Now we're both recording. So that's us, is just a man in a scripted tape recording, and we're gonna be answering some questions and going forward. Have you been doing anything? I was hoping to get to some Potato Quest on Harmontown, but it hasn't happened. So
I'm sorry, buddy.
It's cool, but
would you say that the campaign is sputtering?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I would say it's absolutely sputtered out at this point, like beyond a doubt. Like not even there's no pilot light. It's gone. Potatoes. I feel like I've been poked in all of my eyes. Oh boy, I hate. Anyway, so that has been something.
Tubers.
Tubers. I think I found a tuber. That's maybe. Anyway, in the Discord, I was riffing with people on fun vegetables that they could farm, because someone, I think on Twitter or Instagram, sent me a link to something called a mashed potato, which is a potato shaped like a fist that like gives you rage or something. And I was like, hey, I could make instead of just having regular food, I can make all the food like crazy, you know, and they farm all crazy foods. And so I was like trying to come up with things.
Sort of sounds like an anime.
Oh, what's that one that's happening right now?
JoJo? It does sound like something from JoJo.
There's like a competitive food anime that's popular right now. Here, fill time for me.
Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody cries.
All right. So if it's cool, I'm just gonna list some of these off.
Yeah, I mean, you go for it, man.
So the pumpkins.
Who could stop you?
There's the pumpkins. We got elven pumpkins, human pumpkins, lumen pumpkins, goblin pumpkins, dwarven pumpkins. And then the potatoes are smashed potatoes, rash potatoes, dash potatoes, trash potatoes, slash potatoes, cash potatoes, and flash potatoes.
No thrash potatoes?
I'll get around to it.
No,
I'll listen to this and take notes.
This is the podcast of record.
Oh, yeah. Roma tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, fairy tomatoes, sherry tomatoes, scary tomatoes, and nightshades. Let's see. Blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, lawberries, chaos berries, good berries, should berries, could berries, woodberries, like the other kind, air berries, berries, berry berries, fairy berries, berry fairies, dairies and non-dairies, and sherry's berries, and rary's berries, and Gary's cherries, and one berries, and two berries, and all berries, and null berries. And then the grapes of wrath.
Wow, I feel like I've been buried alive.
That's good. That's a magical spell by the berry fairies. But the grapes of wrath, which we advertise, we're a proud advertiser of.
Oh, that's right. Oh God, that was a weird one.
That was a good one. I mean, yeah, we stand by all of our products, especially when they're batched in various sweets. So that's all the D&D kind of thinking I've been doing, I guess. What about you?
I'm getting back into a campaign this weekend that the one that I play in.
Oh yeah,
we've been trying to get back into it, but there's just been so much. PAX Unplugged was this past weekend. I didn't go, but some people from my campaign went, and that's why I couldn't play. Because some people from my campaign were there.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Well, that's yeah.
It's
that's
okay.
The crush of life.
I'm sure it was fun. My friend Casey Egan was there. She had a good time.
And sometimes
she
that's
plays
all
in my
matters.
campaign that I run.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
How's that? Is it fun?
We haven't played in over a month because everybody was all over the place.
Oh no.
But we're gonna get back to it soon.
Famous last words.
Yeah, right?
No, I'm kidding.
No,
but it hurts to not be able to meet with your gang. It hurts so much sometimes you start a podcast.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to crack into UCB&D?
Yeah, well, only if you have something ready right now on your phone.
No, I absolutely do. But the question is, are you ready to hear it? Because I'm ready to dispense wisdom from improvencyclopedia.org/reference.
I've taken off my hoodie, so I'm ready.
And your nails are still looking chic.
They look like shit.
Yeah, I don't know what anything
They've
is.
started to flake off.
They do immediately. That's part of the mystique.
Yep.
But anyway, number 4, you can look good if you make your partner look good. When you are in a scene, the better you make your partner look, the better the scene is going to be, and as a direct result, the better you are going to look. All too often, I've seen players enter a scene, and I can just tell they have some really great idea about the character they are going to play or an idea they want to do. This is wonderful, but guess what? Your partner probably has no idea what's cooking in your evil little mind, and so has no idea how to react. And no matter how brilliant your idea might be, it's practically worthless if the scene as a whole goes bad. So just to apply this to D&D, you can look good if you make your partner look good. As a DM,
your partner is the players.
Right. So if you make them look like they're succeeding, they'll definitely feel better.
Yeah, it's true.
Than if they're just beating their heads against the wall fruitlessly.
I'd say that's true, yeah.
It's a pretty direct application. You have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'd say like they'd rather it's more fun for them to succeed in a way that you maybe didn't plan than it is for them to beat their heads against the thing that you wanted them to do, but they aren't picking up on for an hour.
Right. On one hand, this is kind of an argument for fudging dice in your player's favor.
Which you do.
Right. Especially on Harmon Quest, the movie. The movie coming soon to theaters near you. Yeah, I think that, making people succeed. Honestly, I've played a lot of D&D, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of roles that go nowhere. And what that means is like something isn't going to happen for like 3 or 4 more minutes. And it's like so many times, players, monsters, anything. So many times I just turn failures into successes just because it's like, okay, is everyone just not going to succeed at doing anything? And I think that is making yourself look good by making your partners look good.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
And I'm sure it's a lot easier on Harmon Quest where you're rolling the dice for everyone.
Oh, yeah. But also, if people have different attitudes towards DCs, but, a lot of times you don't reveal DCs.
Oh, no, I don't think I never do.
So that kind of gives you complete power over almost any result, depending on how perceptive your players are being.
Yeah.
But
definitely. That's what the screen's for.
Right. It's not about, but ultimately you don't want to do that too much. In regards to making your players look good, also it's just in terms of your idea, what's going on in your evil little mind. You have this cool DM story that you want to tell, but even as clearly as you're trying to lay it out, it won't come across that same way to your players. So instead of beat your head against the wall and try and drag them across the threshold and kind of get them into your mind, it's better to go with whatever you're brewing together with the players and follow their energy instead of like trying to drag them and like try and come up with a synthesis of these ideas. Because they just can't read what's in your mind. And if they go in a different direction, which is going to happen because they don't know what you expect them to do, you can't fight that too hard. You have to.
You can't fight the moonlight, and the moonlight in this sense is what the players are trying to do.
Right, but you can fight the good fight, which is having fun with everyone.
Yeah,
and that was UCB&T.
Yeah, I think it was really good.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love.
This is our patented between segment review.
Oh yeah. I love it, and if you love it, you can rate us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars, and then yeah, that's all. Just give us 5 stars. I haven't
looked at our iTunes ratings in a while, but no, that's not true. I look at them every week, and every time there's something nice, it makes me feel great. It also makes Spencer feel great if you feel better about that.
Oh yeah, it makes you feel better that I feel better.
Yeah.
So feel better with me. Anyway, do you want to do a Helga cruciform? It doesn't sound like it. You want to maybe just read off some Helga cruciform submissions from our audience?
You know what? Let's kick it to the audience this week.
All right. I'm going to the Discord, which we will be leaning on heavier and heavier as we move forward.
In this episode in particular, but
also in general, just because there's just a lot of content there that we can tap into without trying too hard.
Jerkins, the kind of mean.
Craigery Marshall.
Hogfest 2018.
Jorts McKinney.
Pulte the Poltergeist.
Dimble Timbers.
Reptilius Gray.
Sir Spin the Sixth.
Theodore, the self-replicating wizard. And his homunculus service, Theodore Zero, the prequel. That one's really good. Thank you, Rocketman 210.
Rian, the man of many styles.
Apple-bottom Jean.
Boots,
a hobbit.
Boots with the fur. No, that's the fake one. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Beanbag Grizzlebrand.
Scuggy Dubs.
And I'm going to do one last one. Vexy Haberdashery.
Dirk Earthborn. Okay, that was Helga
Cruciform. Crucifying people's pronunciations.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I didn't have anything. I was really
man.
glad. I was out on the ledge.
Well, I appreciate the attempt. That's courage I certainly don't have.
All right.
Do you want to answer a question?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do. Isn't that the nature of what we do here?
Part of it, certainly.
All right. This question comes from Carrot. My fighter took dual wielding and hits like a dump truck, but can't take a hit. Any tips on how to DM without completely destroying him every time I have combat until he levels up a bit? Everyone else in the party is a robe, by which they mean
a caster,
person.
probably.
Yeah, or a monk,
Oh, damn.
If you think about it.
Or like
or they're just actual robes.
Just like a court lobbyist. We got 3 wizards and a court lobbyist.
Level 8 bureaucrat.
Yeah. That could be good. So that's a hard question, obviously. I mean, you can target your monsters away from the fighter, but naturally you tend to want to engage the person in melee.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awkward because if you break out of combat, they get opportunity attacks. So you're giving them advantage by not attacking them in that sense.
I'm assuming this is 5th edition. I'm assuming this is like a level 1 or 2 character. This is sort of the danger of it in 5th edition is those first few levels you are very fragile.
Yeah.
So I mean, what do you think?
I think let them die.
Yeah.
We talked like a week or two ago about how once you go unconscious, like
it doesn't have to be the end.
It's not immediate death. So if you let your fighter drop, then figure out what happens next.
Yeah.
That might teach your fighter a little bit. Then also you probably maybe can find something to juice their HP a little bit if you feel so inclined.
They could find some health potions.
Yeah.
And if they don't use those health potions, you're going to feel even better about knocking them out.
Right. Like, maybe, what if?
How do they just have like really low, do you think they have low health or low AC?
I think they have low health. I think
you're
right.
They're like level 1, yeah.
Yeah. Higher HP, higher AC?
Yeah, I mean, or just, could go a little easier on them.
Right. Here's my pitch, and this is a outlier. This is not.
Yeah.
There's better, more traditional options, but you give them a tattered, haggard, a tattered tabard.
Yeah. Wielded by Hagrid.
That's a tabard, Hagrid tabard. Fuck, I almost nailed that. And and it's falling apart, and it gives the wearer extra HP. But it'll just disintegrate. And so you give them temporary HP, and then it goes away.
I think you just let them get... I mean, part of the reason that you fight such weak shit at level 1, like goblins and wolves and stuff, is that also they're dumb and cowardly.
Sure.
And, like, they can't take hits.
But, I mean, in a situation where you're getting mobbed by a bunch of creatures that are beating you to death, they're not going to be like, oh, no, let's stop.
Yeah, but they also might, not gang up. They might not be smart enough to do that.
That's what those monsters do, though.
As if they're smart. But maybe they're playing a little stupider.
I don't know. Rats gather in packs, but they're dumb.
Yeah, Swarm of Rats is a monster.
Yeah.
That's a really brutal monster. I think is it in Curse of Strahd? There's that really rough one.
I'm sure.
Or is it in?
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure of it. Even though I don't really know about Curse of Strahd, I've heard about that.
Actually, it might be Horde of the Dragon Queen. It's not important.
I've heard of that Swarm of Rats from Curse of Strahd. Anyway, What else?
Infamous. I think we pretty much covered it. Like, just either go a little easier on them, let them get knocked out, or
go nuts.
Play him a little dumber.
Straight up kill his ass.
Also, what are these other characters doing? Are they attacking, or are any of them healing?
Right.
Maybe they could play a little better. Maybe if the fighter was in a little bit more peril, they would, do some stuff to protect them.
Right. Maybe there's ways you give scrolls to give extra healing capacity to your wizards or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Scroll mage armor. Mage armor can be cast on a fighter. Can be cast on other people.
It better. But mostly just murder them. Murder the player.
Yeah, teach them.
Murder the player, not the character.
Yeah. Yeah. Then they don't show up the next week and they're like, oh, but I brought my other friend.
Right.
And they have
tons of HP.
Yeah.
Well, we should do these just best case scenario answers.
Yeah, the best case scenario, you never play Dungeons and Dragons again.
Oh, yeah.
And you get hired at a better job.
And you win the lottery.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Don't even worry.
You'll be fine.
Hopefully that answers your question.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. No, but I think we did, though.
All right, thanks, Carrot.
Carrot, thank you.
All right, well, you know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
All right, it's time for you to roll those dice and me to draw those cards.
Oh, man, it is.
It's Loot Table or Brew Fable, baby. It's that thing where we roll a die and we draw a card, and based on the table that the die is related to, we get a thing.
Yeah. What? And then what?
And then we, it says we make a thing, and then we use the card to put the tarot card to put a little twist on it.
Yeah, so just as an apology, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I told you the wrong thing, and we did a monster of society, and it should have been a monster-ass monster. So that's...
Well, I would have preferred it. Well, you're going first this week.
That's absolutely on me.
Because I definitely have been going first a lot.
All right, I'm going first. I rolled a 5.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's a 5. It's the number after 4, but before 6.
And that means...
It was afraid of 7 because it was best friends with 6, who was afraid of 7. A number 5 means cursed item.
Ooh, well, you got the Queen of Wands reversed, which suggests selfishness, jealousy, and demanding. You are either surrounded by or embodying an aspect that represents all of the negatives of a determined, bold character. What internal insecurities are making you act jealous, angry, or resentful? Well, I guess this doesn't. I can't think of anything this could work for a cursed item, so I guess we can't keep going.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Let's give up. So reversed are certain cards reversed and so they're doubled, or is it turned upside down when you encounter it?
It's when you shuffle the cards,
right,
and you turn the card over. Sometimes the card is upside down,
right,
which inverts the meaning.
So that is randomly determining whether or not the card is reversed when it pulls it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's the reversed, which is why it's the dark side, which is why it goes with cursed items.
Yeah.
What a thematic tie-in.
Would you like a refresher on what it was?
Well, it's mostly about the downsides of being determined and ambitious, right? That was kind of the vibe I was
determined
getting.
And bold, yeah.
Yeah, which to me felt like tunnel vision. So this would be a magic item that's like a in Harmon Quest, I have this magic item called Goblin Fray, the artifact of heroes and kings, known for always dragging one in the direction of their truest ambitions. The idea being they could hold it up and it would kind of pull them in whatever direction I needed to. And I don't know. That made me think of something that I don't think spectacles, but maybe an amulet or a crown that lets you see clearly like how best to achieve your true ambitions. But the curse of it is it literally blinds you to certain things and you just don't see them at all in life, and you don't realize that you're missing them, but they're just kind of carved out of your vision and your awareness because it's like it's deemed as not appropriate to whatever the cursed item thinks that your ambition is. So it's like if it's military conquest, you can't see your wife anymore or something, you know?
Or like you can't see the human cost of what you're doing. Like you might only see this like enemy soldiers and combatants, and you might not see that you're like
Right. You might not be able to like
wiping
even,
out a village so that you could have their crops or your soldiers and
yeah,
stuff.
you might not even see your soldiers at all. Like, and you might be like, oh, fuck, well, this was not what I wanted. But it's like, well, truly, it doesn't matter because we just got to kill all my soldiers to win my military objectives or whatever. I mean, maybe that's a bit too extreme, but that's the concept is give you insight bonuses, advantage to checks to know what you're supposed to do. Maybe.
Are you committed to it being a crown?
No.
Because I got a.
You got a pun?
Yeah. Do you
I
wanna
like.
know what it
Okay,
is?
I'm ready. Yeah.
It's called the tunnel visor.
Yeah. Wait, what's the pun?
Tunnel vision.
Okay, I'm on board again. The tunnel visor, and it's a one of those green visors. Like
Yeah.
accountants or gambly people wear in weirdly lit areas.
And it casts like a weird green light over your eyes. So
Yeah.
you see. Also, you only see everything in shades of green.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's like another cost to it. And so you think,
Well,
I'm
that's a
missing
benefit.
things. I'm missing some things, but you don't realize that it's like blocking out whole things.
Yeah. And then also kind of maybe not full on amnesia, but making it harder for you to like Lotus Eater style, like remember these other things that you might have valued before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like maybe it impacts your bonds, or
Ooh,
something like that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm calling it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Well, now it's time for me to roll a die.
Oh man,
What did I roll?
a 4.
A 4. What's
That's
that?
magic items or
Ooh.
exotic items, not like weapons, but it could be.
Sort of like a magical ring.
Yeah, like wondrous items or amulets, maybe
Yeah.
a wand.
All right, I got the 6 of Wands.
Oh, damn.
Victory, success, public reward. After a tough battle, the 6 of Wands represents a very public celebration of a victory. It is achievement as well as recognition for one's achievements. Okay. I think so celebration. I think this is it's a champagne bottle.
Okay.
And when you pop the champagne sprays everywhere, and it turns into champagne elementals that have just a rockin' celebratory kick-ass party and can fill out any party that you're at and just are your biggest fans and everything until the bubbles run out, and at that point they turn into mindless water elementals and attack.
And they're all called Suds Mackenzie.
Yeah. Yes.
Yay, the party elementals.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like a real celebratory thing.
Yeah, and so it's like I guess it ended up a little cursed. But
Yeah.
sorry.
But also it's just bad. It's like a bad product.
Yeah, but it's like for a few hours it seems great. Like you open it and you're like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a good time.
And they also like they sell like dry dust or like dust of dryness to clean up the water elementals when they get rowdy.
I like the idea also it's like it's like it's like a party. It's like they lose enthusiasm over the night,
Right.
over the course of the night. Like they start off really great. It's not like
They lose their buzz.
yeah, and then over a while they start to get like more and more just aggressive. So it doesn't happen all at once. But,
Yeah. I'm into that. Do you know a name of it? I'm thinking too.
It's called the I said champagne already.
Yeah.
It's called it's not champagne. Well, okay, it's champagne.
Either way.
Champagneless.
Champagneless.
Oh no, it's called champagne, but it's spelled SHAM because it's a fake good time that then turns bad.
Into pain.
Yeah, it's spelled SHAMPAIN. So somebody's like, I got a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
There we go.
What about We Are the Champagnes?
I think I'm gonna stick with champagne.
Hey Cohen, what about We Are the Champagnes? Okay.
Picture
that
me
was
getting up and walking out of the room.
Loot Table or Brute Fable. Send us your brutes.
Send us your loots.
I don't know if that's a standard part, but let's just say that.
Let's work it in. Yeah.
Interpret it how you will. You know what that means, of course.
It's time for that break.
Oh, yeah.
We got to keep the lights on.
You know we do. Hey, Cohen, how often does this happen to you?
Oh, what is it?
You're going down in the dungeon, you find a fresh new sword, you come back, you're bringing it, you're showing it off. Next, you look away, next thing you know, it's been pilfered.
Oh, God. If I had a nickel for every nickel and sword that has been pilfered.
You'd have a platinum piece. Oh, sorry. What?
No, I'd have a platinum piece. I'd have a perfect platinum piece.
You and me both, buddy. That's why Tomina the elf has brought her expertise to bear with a brand new product known as Tomina's Iron-On Explosive Glyphs. Tomina's Iron-On Explosive Glyphs iron on easy and quickly without any hassle and contain all the power and damage of an explosive rune spell, guarding your items from unwanted access.
Now, I'm so excited about this product, but my question is, can I put them on my own body? Can I iron these deadly explosive runes onto my own bare flesh?
You can, although it gets a little complicated because you got to designate a lot of, accessible users. And so then if unauthorized people kind of touch your body, then I think your body explodes.
Good.
Yeah. A big part of this whole Tomina's explosive runes are that it just blows up your weapon so that instead of anyone getting their hands on it, they blow up and the weapon does too. But using it on your body has similar results, perhaps even more effective at blowing you up.
Could you use them on an enemy, perhaps?
Oh, yeah. Use them on friends. Use them on enemies. Use them on animals. Don't use them on animals.
Use them on cans of soda?
Use them on
mid 2000s era YouTube hijinks.
Use them on a ragamuffin. Use them on Asmodeus. Slap him on a rust monster.
Put them on the Mad Mage. Show him what you think of his dungeon.
Stuff him into Hallister's mouth. Stuff him into the mouth of a gibbering mouther.
Put them on your own bare palms. And then go into a palm reader. And when they practice their hooliganistic lies, you're both blown up to hell.
Delight your friends and decimate your foes with Tomina's Iron-On explosive runes.
Didn't you know it would end this way?
Not with a whimper, but with a bang.
Did you have to read the whole rune, or is it like on the moment of recognition?
There's all sorts of commands and activation triggers, but these ones tend to trigger on unwarranted access, as defined by accessed by users who were not designated at the time the glyph was set.
So set the unwarranted access to keep them off of your very wanted axes.
Set the axis to keep off the axes.
Yep.
With Tomina's explosive runey things.
That's the take we're going with.
Was that I don't even know if that was the name.
Tamina, yes, I believe. Because you said Tom, and then you kind of like
wanted to make
dangled
it
on the end of that branch, like looking for a last name. Or perhaps that, yes.
Use the promo code Goblin Flakes.
Goblin Flakes. They're terrible.
They're flake. And we're back.
I sure did enjoy that suite of products.
You know I did as well. And as always, use Squarespace, the only website.
Stop.
Master
Stop
Manual
doing
approves for website creation.
We are not sponsored by them, and you are going to prevent that from ever happening.
They got 24-hour support and all number of templates that you can use right out of the box that look great on any tablet or format. So that's just something to keep in mind. They definitely don't pay us, so you know it's true.
I wish. I hate this. Okay.
Do you have another question?
Why do you do this to me?
Oh, it's good.
Okay.
Squarespace loves it.
Yeah, I got a question. I got a question for you.
Oh, snap.
It's from Jupiter.
Jupiter.
On the Discord. Sorry if this has been asked before. How do you guys prefer to dispense experience? Traditional method, milestones, some method of your own? I don't.
What?
I don't do that.
Explain.
I level them up when I feel like they should, and that's when they level.
And when do you feel like they should?
Usually I try to make it after something fairly significant.
Yeah.
I try to play by the general rule is like every 4 sessions they should level, is what it says in the book.
Sure.
Like, but I think I probably do it a little bit more than that.
I think earlier you tend to do it. I mean, I don't know about you,
it's
but
like
people tend to do it a bit earlier.
Yeah, earlier you do it more because you want to get
often.
through those levels, and also that's the way the game is set up.
Yeah, the experience exponentially.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I just hate keeping track of experience. Also think it's harder to do. I don't like role playing experience. I feel like that counterintuitively takes you extremely out of the situation. If somebody's role playing really well, to be like, very good role play, 150 arbitrary points for you.
Yeah.
And then so what you're left with is just combat experience, which turns the game into a very, well, if I'm not killing things, if I'm not turning every situation into combat, I'm walking away from...
Yeah, I'm wasting time.
Yeah. And the game doesn't only give you combat stuff for leveling up. So it's like, this is the only method I have to advance. I should pursue this.
Yeah. So I have similar takes. I get confused by the experience system because a lot of times you see a small experience reward and it's like, oh, that seems so small. Is that per player, or is that supposed to then be split by the number of players? Then you have traps generally have experience if you overcome a trap. And then there's dubious rulings whether or not bypassing certain monsters or certain traps in certain ways give you experience even without killing, or some cases even encountering them. If you invisibly walk past a monster, is that giving you the experience? And then outside of that, giving different players different amounts of experience just ends up being weird for a lot of reasons, which is a natural consequence of splitting up combat experience, and is a natural consequence of tracking individual experience points in general.
Yeah, somebody ends up with like 173 more.
Yeah.
And then you end up it
just introduces all sorts of opportunities for people to feel negatively.
And it's just so much more fun if leveling up can be like the little treat that for it makes it more significant that you did something, like you defeated the Jack of Knives, and now and now you level up because of this amazing thing that you've done.
That's my favorite tarot card, the Jack of Nines.
In the game that I play in, our enemies are the Lonely Hearts Club.
Nice.
We killed the Jack, and now we're currently pursuing the Queen.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
Pretty badass.
It is pretty. It's really cool. That's reminds me of that lesson from those 20 podcasts, 20 lessons. You did the thing.
Which lesson?
Piggybacking, or
using piggybacking.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I know this thing. Or resonance, maybe more resonance.
Good game design piggybacks on what game players already know about the world. Using cards as a basis draws on prior knowledge that the players bring to the table regarding their experience with cards and suits.
Yeah, so if there's a Jack, and he's got heart themes, then we can make assumptions about who the Queen and King are, and then maybe we can perhaps wonder if there are other suits.
And that makes you feel good having those thoughts because you're piggybacking and you're completing a pattern in your mind.
Yeah.
I lost the thread. What was the question again?
Oh, the question was about leveling
experience. So the other thing is, like, I don't even like when players die, giving them lower level, giving experience penalties and stuff, because then when people are different levels, then that's kind of fucked up too. Obviously, what we're saying is at odds with a really crunchy min-maxy group, because then people will take advantage of that. So if it's something that people might take advantage of, be more careful. But generally speaking, you can just kind of hand wave it, and it doesn't, like, people are fine with it. I think, like, after your first session or 2 sessions, you should level up from level 1 to level 2, and then every thereafter it should be 2 to 4 sessions, and then it levels out 4, and then longer generally.
Yeah,
but
I think that one thing you want to make sure, if you can get people all leveling at the same time.
Right.
And one reason is that actually takes a little bit of time. And if you have one person at the table who's trying to figure out and like pick their stats, and maybe they have some questions for you, and it's so much easier. The way that we've done it in games that I've played in is typically, you'd end the night by defeating something. We're told that we're going to be leveling up at the next session. Gives everybody a chance to look at their stuff and pick what they're going to be picking, and then they come in, and usually you just roll hit points for the DM if you roll.
I think that's definitely good. I mean, it's definitely a bad experience for someone to be leveling up while everyone else is playing. That's like a weird situation.
Yeah, but it'd be a bummer to, like, if they've done a bunch of stuff specifically to try to level up sooner, be like, okay, we're going to handle that later. And then more combat happens where they could have used their new amazing and magical spells and skills and feats and tricks and kicks and flips and pro tips and gamer strats.
Yeah, man. And Prima guides. But maybe that answers the question.
I think it did.
I don't know. No, it did.
It's time for Gamestorming, baby.
I'm just being negative. It's time for Gamestorming, and you don't know this, but I did cook up a jingle that I may or may not click into place. Gamestorming. How was that?
Oh, I'm transported.
Oh, yeah. Into the game storm.
Welcome to the game storm.
All right, now we got a new jingle.
Okay, right. Sorry. Well, no, you got to put that on the jingle.
No, it's good.
Sample me and please thread it into the jingle.
I don't know how well it'll weave, but I'll try it. I'll get into the audio lab. I'll get into the radio lab. And
we're here to talk. We're going down to the subway. Radio Lab seriously sounds like a Foley guy who thinks he's about to get fired.
It's
really
bad.
Trying to keep his health insurance.
They do that less than they used to, and it's still rough to listen to.
I like Radio Lab. It still is.
Oh no, I love it. But
there are times when it does sound like the old timey Superman serial.
Oh, it's tacky. But, if you're from Radio Lab, feel free to come on the podcast.
And kick our ass.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Knock my hat off.
I have 4 strength, 4 stam leather belt. If you remembered that meme.
Nope.
Anyway, moving on to game storming, which we are currently doing now. What game do you want to storm?
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go to the polls. So you're actually going to have to help me a lot. Obviously, I know about Pokemon, but I never really played Pokemon Go. I understand the concept of the candies and the leveling up being different, the fights.
I think this one might actually be bad for game storming.
Okay. Do you want to? I mean, I'm either way.
But now you don't know it. Okay. What's another game? What's a game we've both Vectorman.
Vectorman, platformer game for Sega, right?
Yeah, it was sort of a stunt. They're like, look, we can do vector graphics.
Yeah, it was a man made of balls, kind of like the Michelin Man, but balls.
And sometimes he could turn into other things, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like Sega games didn't really were often just kind of like, and now you're here.
Right.
And now you're here.
Back then, it was like you had a core mechanic and then levels that pretty strongly deviated from the core mechanic into almost entirely different games.
This time, you're roller skating.
Right.
Now you're like parachuting down, and it's cool, but it's really not what you signed up for.
Yeah, you turn into a rocket at one point.
Yeah, or big bug.
But otherwise, you're an action hero trying to save the day.
I guess.
Yeah. You there's like a force field generator that you take out.
Jesus.
And then you fly
fight
around.
like a big bug at the end, I think. I remember there was a part where you tediously try to navigate caves.
Right.
So that's already pretty much the D&D experience.
Right.
How do we recreate?
So Vectorman to me is mostly most of the tropes around it are the character.
Uh-huh.
Like the balls man.
Yeah, he's like green and made of balls, and he has like cool sunglasses.
Yeah, so it could be like an alien kind of creature that's like a balls man, or it could be like a wizard that has like
turned into balls.
Yeah, he's put his consciousness into essentially a balls man.
Yeah.
And either way, he would probably have like some sort of like as
he also has his shooting. He's got the it had like a good heft to
he
it.
shoots off those like photons.
Yeah. And you could get different weapons that had like more heft, or like there was like a laser beam, and there was one that did like a wave of lasers out.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of like curved or spun. I don't know. I feel like you got a lot farther than me. I just have
a really good memory.
No,
Sorry.
like I truly do, like I can remember the first, second, and third levels.
I think this was all from like the first few levels.
Yeah, maybe.
They used to really front load games.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah, because that was as far as your ass was getting.
Right. They were too hard. They should have just made them easier, I guess.
Yeah, or better, like Super Mario World.
Yeah. So I'm recalling that he collects stars or something in that game, but that's pretty generic. Huh?
God knows. I would know. You know, it was definitely one of those where you would just arbitrarily reach a certain point, and he would do like a victory dance and be like, "Oh, I guess the level's over.
Right.
I've walked to the right enough."
Yeah, that's true, and a lot of it was very repetitive.
Yeah,
I don't know what my tend towards is it is like a wizard, or if it's not a wizard, it has the consciousness and intelligence of a wizard-like entity, and it has a lair.
So are your players are fighting the Vectorman?
Well, I think it would be either the Vectorman's place, or it would be like the crypt of the Vectorman, you know, like it was designed to contain it.
I think, he definitely needs to be the centerpiece here because that's all there is. That's all. I think you fought bugs.
Yeah, you fight.
So maybe there's like bugs that were maybe like also fruit. Like I remember a big apple bug.
I feel like the bugs were all like technologically too.
Yeah.
So like Vectorman was kind of like robot-y, kind of like a construct. It's like everything was a construct.
Yeah.
So it was like weird. Anyway.
Yeah, so you're fighting this biomechanical ball monster who has, you know, you're also fighting some bugs, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And he's got spells.
He's got spells for days. No, I don't know. Like I picture like to capture the Vectorman's form shifts. Maybe there's different areas where it like he shows up in different forms. Like maybe the room itself like compels the form.
Like roller skate, like it like slides, like the floor falls and suddenly it's at a 45-degree angle, and your characters have to move at max speed have to like use their max speed every turn.
Yeah, or get left in the dust.
Yeah, or killed by like the advancing left side of the screen kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, and then you know, he's got roller skates, so they're trying to catch up to him. So they gotta beat him to make that stop happening.
Yeah,
because they're getting left behind, and the Sega processor can't keep track of where they are.
Right, and also its music is worse.
Yeah,
so use bad music.
I'm pretty sure that's what most
the
of
synthesizer is legit though.
Yeah, but it was not as good as that SNES sound chip, baby.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, okay, so what if it's like a temple with different themes to it, and you're following this otherworldly
the
entity.
Vector Mansion.
Yeah, that like manifests as
that's the name of the
temple.
The temple is the Vector Mansion.
Yeah. And so you're following this entity, and then when it comes in, it manifests as all these balls, and it's just doing stuff, and it's like, you know, you're trying to follow it or something because you know that's the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's being transmuted into these different shapes as it moves around, and that's creating every room that you travel to then has its own kind of events and situations happening, and then like monsters that are maybe dealing with the Vectorman existing. And then like at the end something happens and it creates some sort of situation that results in like a boss fight or like a cool event. I don't know.
I like it.
And then also you're collecting stars, and if you collect enough afterwards, Vectorman shoots your players and they dance.
Yes. Actually, if you collect too many stars, you get an extra Vectorman. So now you're having to fight two of them.
That's good. I like that. And then maybe you get that power up that makes you shoot the big stars.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh yeah, you get a power up that makes all the stars you collected turn into big damaging items.
Yeah, and then like however many you've collected, you can fuck them up.
Yeah, you could shoot one ball off.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was Gamestorming.
Where the demons dwell.
There the games are hell.
Vectorman. I should have said Echo the Dolphin instead.
Vectorman. I don't know. I'm
All
bad at anything.
I got a good question.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
this one's going to
for.
carry us home, Country Road.
Shit.
All right, this is comes from Gamachara, again on the Discord.
Oh boy.
I'm struggling to get my PCs to interact with each other. We're a sillier group, so I don't want to discourage the jokey things they come up with individually, but I think they're comfortable role-playing the characters in the world, but not to each other. How would I go about encouraging them to do so? This had 2 thumbs up when I screen capped it, so you know it's good.
You know it's good. Let's see. I don't know, because honestly, I think I mentioned this before, but as a player, my instincts lean away from role playing because I'm always thinking about just hypothetically, like my character does this and talks to that person, but it's hard.
Yeah, this is getting at something. I'm definitely more comfortable like role playing with the
Right.
DM, but then over time, it's funny like. It starts to happen more when you're like just thanking someone for helping you. And then it kind of emerges from that. But,
yeah.
Jesus, this is hard. How do you encourage inter-party role play?
So one thing is like you can ask your players questions about how their players feel about various in-game topics in the hope of like spurring a discussion in and or out of character. Like I don't know, say there's like a king, or be like, well, what do your characters think about the king? And then like, why don't you talk about what you think about the king or something? And then it might start out of character, but they might delve into in character. I don't know.
You could introduce something that you know they disagree on.
Right.
That's like something like if one of your characters is, maybe a for example, a monk of Kellamvor, just pulling from my own experience, and another character is like a thief. If you were to introduce if you were to throw in like a tomb that had like a dead person who's like, like a body that's just like decked out in gold and silver.
Right.
The monk of Kellamvor would be about respecting the dead, and then the thief would be about getting those getting that sweet gold. So maybe they'd have an argument about it.
Mm-hmm.
And arguing in character is the first step towards falling in love in character, according to my fanfics.
Absolutely. That's beyond reproach. That's a take beyond reproach.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a cold take if it's hard to disagree with?
No.
I mean, not really.
No, hot takes are just off the cuff.
Yeah.
Cold takes are just well-considered thoughts, I think. Well, they can be badly long considered.
Right. Or at least they're not rocking the boat or whatever. They're safe.
No, I don't think hot takes. I think hot takes is like you didn't think about it before you said it.
Right.
Specifically.
Yeah.
So you can
sure.
Your hot take can also just be completely, cowardly
and that's a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No,
it's a hot take and a bad bake.
I think that what you said about disagreements is like the best way forward. It's if they happen to disagree, but I think you can be all like, maybe if you can introduce a disagreement, make your players fight and hate each other. No, but if there is a disagreement that they're trying to do out of character, be like, well, I mean, wouldn't this be something that your characters would discuss and like try and kind of nudge it that way? Because it would be. It wouldn't be something that the players are like, well, my character Jeremy is hot-headed, so he wouldn't think that far ahead. It really would happen in the fiction.
Yeah. So you can push that.
Yeah. You can kind of throw close-ended things at them to hope that they kind of latch on to it. I just maybe make quirky handles and combat-related stuff just to like, instead, like, the goblin, it winks at you and it holds up its armpit and it's got a glowing ring
In its armpit?
Yeah,
That's where it keeps it?
and then it turns out to be nothing. But wasn't that fun? Nope, bad advice. Let's cut that advice.
No, it's in forever.
It's in forever. It's online until I stop paying the monthly fee to have it hosted online.
How's that much to send you back?
How many months have we done this? 3 or 4?
Yeah, I think so.
$60.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It's a great price.
We should really get a Patreon.
Oh yeah, but no, we got plenty of money coming in from Tungle Taint's Custom Rocks.
And of course you're completely our unsolicited Squarespace ads that we are not being paid for and are not real.
When our cash comes in from that, you're gonna be singing a different tune, the tune of Tungle Taint herself, whose tongue is covered in calluses by licking the taints of stones. Stones have taints, right? Making a great face for podcasting over there.
I don't like it.
Hard to describe, but it's maybe a disapproving face.
Sort of like, imagine if a lemon could go to church.
A lemon can go to church. It just can't appreciate it.
And they can't get into heaven because Christ has not come to them.
That's fair. I mean, who would want to? Anyway, hopefully that answers Gamachara's question. Let us know. I'm super curious about how your adventures go in trying to get your group to RP a little bit more.
Yeah, please let us know on the Discord, and then we will read it out loud.
Oh yeah, me and Gamachara, we go way back.
Yeah,
we talked 3 days ago on the Discord.
I wondered how you pulled that name so quick.
Yeah. They are. Who knows what they are? Anyway, you know what time for it is?
Time for a second pass of that sentence?
Time for speaking English poorly.
Is it time for Amlinals?
It is time for that.
It's time for alternate monster lore, baby. That's the thing where we take an existing monster and we throw a little pepper on that in that stew pot. We throw a little English on that ball. We twist it up. We chop and screw it, and it's a different monster when we're done.
We hit it with that Emerald Bam.
Yeah. So what do we got this week?
Oh boy, you know what we got this week? Let me pop open this chart here.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm looking at the chart. I'm running my finger lovingly down the chart.
Oh boy, it's just dwarves.
Dwarves.
Can you believe that?
Oh, weird. It's dwarves.
Like a subspecies of dwarves. Like most of these common races have a bunch of different takes on them,
like
because
Duragar.
Right, exactly. But also just because they exist across so many different fantasy campaign settings that all feel the need to like have a different take, so it's not just dwarves. So like in Faerun or whatever, it's like shield dwarves and then hill dwarves or some shit like that. And but yeah, I don't know.
What about hell dwarves?
Hell dwarves.
There we go.
They're the opposite of Dwergar. I mean, not really, but they are.
Okay.
They live in hell.
These are dwarves. Okay, here's my pitch.
You start going.
All right, these are dwarves who dug too greedily and too deep, and they just dug their asses right into hell.
Holy shit.
And they have a mind that goes all the way to hell, and they're just like down in hell, digging stuff up, digging up gems, and they're like fighting demons and stuff.
So they're not evil.
No, they're just still regular dwarves.
Right. So these guys, they dug too deep, and to justify it, they're like, we're doing this for good. We're gonna fucking mine this place out and establish it for dwarves and make it good and put it under order.
And maybe over time they've built up like natural immunities to like resistances and immunities to fire. And
right.
Even like evil, maybe.
Yeah.
Like they're just, their whole deal is that they're just digging, they're just trying to excavate hell.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
The same way they've developed stone cunning, they have a kind of hell cunning for the way that hell works, and not necessarily a sense of evil, but they kind of see it in the ley lines of the hellstone.
Yeah, exactly. This is they're getting the good stuff. They're still, I mean, let's be clear, they are still going after those sweet gems.
Right.
Going after those good ores and minerals.
Oh yeah.
That they love so much and so tenderly.
Nether quartz, cobalt and adamantium. I guess or ardite, cobalt and ardite can be found in the Nether.
Isn't there some kind of shadow metal?
Soul steel.
Actually, I think I think the Shadow
Shadow
Metal I'm
Steel?
thinking of is literally a thing that my DM made up. It was really cool.
There's Soul Sand from Minecraft. Soul Steel is a cool concept from Exalted that exists. It's like it has the souls of like dead people woven into it, and it's evil. And it has, I think, anti-magic or magic absorbing properties to it. Exalted's a great fantasy system for a lot of inspiration. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, if you have 500 hours to read the source book,
Oh yeah,
then
it's compelling.
And 3 people who you can badger into doing also.
Oh yeah, learn about mances and the Scarlet Empress.
But let's get back to those hell dwarves.
Hell dwarves.
So they're digging to hell.
They got to have a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like we know what they're doing, but and then we know what they've gained from their hell, but what they should have like a gimmick, right? Like some sort of like either they have this big thing that's like their hell bulwark or something.
For me, part of it is just that it's like it's like there's just a mine.
Right.
And it's like, and they're living all the way up the mine, like all the way up the shaft.
Yeah.
And they've got a city, and it's like they just dug their way to hell. They're continuing to excavate it. The economy continues, and this like infernal metal is maybe making its way into the world. And it's like, where is this corruption coming from? It's like, have demons broken out? It's like, no, dwarves have broken in.
Right. And so it's just in the metal.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe they probably start to get pretty tainted and evil too, because you can't just be in hell that long. And
sure,
like it probably starts off as like, oh, they're like, oh, we're getting this resistance, and like they're gradually just turning into devils or demons.
That pushes me in the direction of like maybe they didn't have the blessing of their god, but they did it like saying that the gods would do it, and so then the defenders that actually were worshippers of the god, they could actually still use their blessings to defend the dwarven people because it was important for the survival of the dwarves. But like the leadership and stuff became tainted, and so they're pushing them deeper and deeper, and so the leadership's bad. And then that's kind of causing a decay of the society. But there's still these defenders of the faith that are like, I don't think this is what Moradin or whoever wants us to be doing.
Moradin is good. Clangadin is bad.
Right.
If I remember my dwarven history.
I certainly don't, and I trust your judgment. But maybe it's an interplay between those two even.
Yeah. I like the idea of these like because this would be who would be making the appeal to the party, right? There'd be like some member of this faith that's like, I don't love it. We feel, we don't feel great about it.
Right. I mean, technically, I get where they're going.
But we're charged to defend, we are charged to defend those who swing the axe and those who pull the metal. And
we live in the dirt and we mine from the earth, and that's what dwarves are. Like, it all looks good on paper, but it just doesn't sit right with me. I have this voice.
Feel good that how would they be talking?
To the extent,
Spencer, did use that good voice acting?
Oh, hey guys, it's me, the dwarf. Hey guys, it's me, Lumpkins, the gnome dwarf. Gnomes are dwarves, right?
Ah, yes.
Oh,
we go down into the mine and we bring it back, but what we bring back is not all we're bringing back.
Yeah,
we're also bringing back track players.
Oh no.
And zip drives.
Oh no.
It's obsolete technology. We've got Gen 1 iPods down there.
Say it ain't so. Something I have an issue with like role-playing dwarves says is they seem very, very stubborn. They're maybe one of the most stubborn races, I feel. Like elves, a lot of races are like famously stubborn, but elves are stubborn in a different way than dwarves, and dwarves seem to be stubborn.
Yeah, dwarves are like, but that seems to fit a race that would dig into hell.
Yeah, no, it fits very well. It's just hard for me to get into that mindset for role playing, so I personally shy away from it a lot. But it's like it's a good, important, kind of cool character to have.
It's good. It's good if you got one of them.
Yeah,
it's not so fun if it's the whole campaign. if the party can't convince anyone of anything.
Yeah. So what if the lead king dwarf is like trying to turn his heart into like soul steel or whatever the fuck
Ooh.
to like, and so that's like maybe like a weird plot is that they're trying to like integrate, like the upper class is trying to do weird evil shit with this soul steel as it's kind of feeding out into the world.
Artificers who are just like, this metal is just being brought up,
Right.
and they're just excited, and they're very detached from the actual digging into hell. So
right,
they're able
'cause
to
it's great.
Yeah,
It's
so
great
they're
metal.
able to be like, oh, it's good metal, and this is, people go and get metal, and yeah, they dig underground, and so all the people making the decisions are not the ones who are actually connected to the cost of what is happening.
Right. I like
It's
that.
an allegory.
Yeah. I didn't mean it that way, but you're a genius, so you
Thanks.
can't help but inject all sorts of layers.
It just happens. I'm like a cake smith.
You're like a croissantsman. Anyway, you want to call that Amlimals?
I want to call that animals.
Oh, do we need a name? Hell Dwarves?
I like it. I guess it's
Hell Dwarves is great.
I guess it's a pun on hill dwarves, and that's all it is. But
Oh,
I love
like
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could use them in your campaign if you want. Now, to finish off the show, we got a segment we call Fail Mail. You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm on the hold on. Okay, now I'm on the edge of my seat, so go fast before I
You've
fall off.
relocated to the edge of your seat.
Shit. Okay, I'm balancing.
Well, take off your socks because they're about to be blown off by Alex, who says, I was playing a halfling sorcerer named Roscoe Chicken and Waffles in Dungeons & Dragons. My team was trekking through a jungle, and we encountered two Garalians. That's a monster. Roscoe prayed to his luck god that he would survive, and he believed he got a good omen from his prayer. Then Roscoe attempted to double-blind both Garalians. Both Garalians succeeded on their saving throws. They went next in the initiative order and proceeded to perma-kill him by tearing him half with 2 critical hits apiece.
Well,
Fail mail.
you did sometimes gods lie.
Oh, yeah. It turns out most gods don't give a shit about you.
Better luck next god.
I on Tumblr, rest in peace Tumblr, adult content is gone.
It's gonna be a long time without you, my friend. Tell you all about it when I tumble again.
But someone on Tumblr was like, it was like, imagine if a bunch of ants were standing in a circle and you could faintly hear them screaming your name. You might like walk over and see what the fuck's going on. And if they were like, hey, kill this ant, you might go, okay, I'll kill this ant. But if they're like, oh man, Jenny is just giving me nonstop shit and the work of my boss is like rough, you might say, oh, I know what to help, and like kill your boss. And you might go like, oh no, oh my God. And you might accidentally kill Jenny. You might just kill all of them because you're like, I don't know what to help. Or you might just do nothing and they'll go, oh, why have you forsaken me? But that's kind of like in the D&D world, like how mortals might interact with gods. You know, they do all these rituals and the gods are just like, sure. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm standing here anyway in the garden.
It costs me nothing.
Right. And
But when it gets down to like the nitty gritty emotional stuff, it's sort of hard. It's like, I'm so sad. It's like,
yeah, I gotta get inside. I'm holding this chicken's thawing out.
yeah. And then maybe, if you've already done it like a few times for them that day, you might like be like, you know what? I don't work for these ants. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, and then you might just smite all of them and cause an apocalypse. And people are like, oh, we shouldn't have tempted fate. This is why you don't contract with demons. And in a way, they're right, but not for the right reasons. You know, kind of. Or maybe like they just get intuitively that it's dangerous, but don't understand why. And why is because you got shit to do.
Yeah, and so the lesson is don't truck with powers that are more powerful than you, like trucks.
Exactly. Fail mail.
Well,
send us your fails. Send us your mails.
And where should they send those to?
mastermanualpod@gmail.com.
Send us your questions. Send us your comments. Send us your praise.
Join the Discord.
Don't forget to like us and rate us on iTunes, please.
Oh yeah, and as always.
Well, we're not done.
Oh yeah, we're done.
Well, we got the Twitter and the Instagram. And the
rest. No.
Okay.
Don't give it to them. No.
It's Master Manual Pod. It's on all of them.
At Master Manual Pod.
Yeah, and if you please send in your questions.
Oh, yeah, we love them. Join the Discord.
Yeah.
It's all popping off. And as always.
What? Looks like we booked it again?
It is that.
Mastery is manual?
No. Mastery is automatic. All right, I don't know.
Looks like we booked it again.
It does look that way.